We're at Marina Lanzarote in Arrecife, and you can just see the top there of Aida Mar, which is a cruise ship which is docked here today. Lovely day, as you can see. Sorry about the traffic noise. And I thought today we'd just walk you through the marina and show you what's here. But I wanted to get that positioning shot because this is the only bit really where I can see the cruise ship relatively easily. This section is where they bring the boats for repair. There's a very interesting looking yacht with huge masts on it there, which is presumably having some work done on its hull. I'm at the far end of the marina from the entrance, and ahead you can see all the boats moored up. This is part of the Calero Marina company. It's never been as successful a marina as Puerto Calero and Marina Rubicon in terms of the shopping aspect. That's never really kind of taken off here, but for boat mooring they've always been busy, and they get some really interesting vessels in here. So we'll walk down and see what shops we've got. It's a warm day, 25 degrees currently. Those boats you can see out there are part of Lava Charter, whose offices we just walked past. They have a whole series of boats you can hire with or without a skipper and sail around the islands. And across the other side you've got the fishing harbour and the fishing school. You see a couple of fishing boats, 3, 4 of them tied up there, and then the smaller ones over that way. And here we come into the main marina shopping and restaurant part. There's a large spring field here. Interesting wooden yacht coming up. I don't know what that one is. I don't recognise it. Very nice bakery here called La Corona. This is the Thin Line, which is the new kind of luxury brand in Lanzarote. Quite minimalist. That's definitely arrived since I was last here. I think a few of the people wandering around are off the cruise ship. And here's that nice wooden boat. Looks like it needs a bit of TLC to me. So we have an office here, and there's another French bakery in this section, which is always busy for coffees and Ferrari shoes. They have a bit of a market. Today is Thursday, by the way. They have a bit of a market here on a Thursday. It's finished now. It's 1:30 in the afternoon, and they were packing up as I pulled into the car park. One stall left here. This is an Italian restaurant, Il Nonno, the grandfather. Most people sat outside. Yeah, so commercially it's a successful marina in terms of the boats, but they've never got it quite right in terms of the mix of shops and bars and restaurants. The only place which really has consistently done well since it opened is Copas, which is a nightclub. We'll see it a little bit further on. That's new. That wasn't there last time I was here. The Jolly Roger Bar and Cafeteria. And Carbon. That's a place that specialises in grilled meats. That big grey building across there is the fishing school, where people learn to deep sea fish. It's kind of like a technical college for fishermen. This is another nice looking place called Karma. And upstairs from here there's a fabulous gym with a rooftop swimming pool. Now that upstairs section has been gutted. I don't know what for. Be interesting to see what goes in there. At one time there was like a food market there, which was, we really enjoyed it. We visited a few times. Kind of one of those places where you've got perhaps a dozen different interesting gourmet places, and you go and pick what you want from each of them, and then sit in a central area and eat what you've ordered from them. So a food market, I guess you would call that. But again, it never really took off, never really succeeded. I quite like these two sculptures here at the end. So what we'll do is go onto the bridge and then just sweep back, and I'll show you the view from here, but then I'm going to take you on a bit further into a place in Arrecife where I've got something to show you. So there's the marina. Someone's been using the public slipway there to drop a boat into the water. In fact, it could be just coming round to pull it out of the water. Okay, we're going to walk on into Arrecife now. This is the roundabout at the entrance to the marina, and it's having a new sculpture put in place, which is a fishing boat, or depicts a fishing boat with a swordfish leaping out of the water. Not quite finished yet, but it's going to look good when it's done. And in centre frame now we've got Chaco San Ginés, our favourite place for grabbing a bite to eat in Arrecife. And it's interesting that the renaissance of that place has really coincided with the fact that the marina just didn't get going on the commercial side. Pretty much as the marina was built, Chaco San Ynez kind of cleaned their act up, I think, to compete with it, and it just became the place to visit when you're out for the evening in Arrecife after a day's shopping or a day at work. This area here is the ruin of the old sardine factory, which used to employ so many people in the 1970s. Let's talk about putting something new on that land in the not too distant future. We'll keep you posted about that. Interesting, the contrast in the weather. What I will do is try and splice in a shot of yesterday's rain, because on Wednesday it tipped down here and we had a thunderstorm, which is very rare for Lanzarote. I managed to get just a few seconds of it hammering down on our outside table and patio. That building on the left is the end of what was the sardine factory. But the reason I'm shooting this section for you is so that you can see clearly today the reef. You can see where the water's breaking on it. That is what the city was named after. Arrecife means reef in Spanish. And it was a great protection during the times of the pirates and so on, because it's pretty much impossible to get any kind of larger vessel over that reef and to attack the town from the sea. And then of course there's the castle there as well, which had cannon on it, which would repel people coming in. Where I wanted to bring you to meet my friend here, Cesar. This, of course, is young Cesar Manrique. Sculpture is known as La Mirada de Cesar, Caesar's gaze, Cesar's gaze, and he's sitting on a bench gazing out that way towards the sea and the Puente de las Bolas. It's a fitting tribute of the great man. So the sign says El Pueblo de Lanzarote, Cesar Manrique, 1919 to 2019. So it's to celebrate his the 100th anniversary of his birth. And the sculptor was Manolo Gonzalez. There's a small fishing boat coming in from his morning's fishing. So he goes under the Puente de las Bolas. And then he'll carry on for a little bit and hang a left into Chaco San Ynez. And if I look all the way back, we can see the top of the Aida Mar cruise ship that we were looking at earlier when we were at Marina Lanzarote. I always want to call it Marina Arrecife. Another landmark down this end of town is the Hotel Miramar, which we're looking at now. That's been there as long, if not a little bit longer, than the Arrecife Grand Hotel, which is much further down. Doesn't that water look enticing? In fact, there's a couple there who are about to have a swim by the looks of it. So we're going to call it a wrap there. I hope you've enjoyed our little wander through Marina Lanzarote, and to have a look at the new sculpture and tribute to Cesar Manrique. Have a great weekend, and bye for now. I just stopped on the way out of town to get a better shot, there's the marina, to get a better shot of the cruise ship Aida Mar for you. And we'll zoom in so you can see it a bit closer. Not one of the really big ones we get in here, but large enough. And over behind it you can see that yellow ship, which is a small tanker. And that's quite an interesting vessel actually. That supplies the fuel, jet fuel for the airport. So it loads jet fuel here, sails across, anchors just off the runway end of the airport, and then pumps fuel through a pipe which goes into the underground storage tanks on the airport apron. So once again, that's it. Apologies for the postscript, but I just saw this and I spotted an opportunity to park the car, and I thought I'd add a little bit to this week's video for you from the salt pans of Arrecife.